Hey everybody, thank you so much for being here today. This video is not going to focus on the makeup, but instead the skincare, the skin prep steps that I take every single day before I put my makeup on. And while you guys see me switching between all different kinds of makeup products from video to video and just in everyday life, I love to switch it up. With my skincare, I stay much more consistent. There's not a single thing that I use in this morning skincare routine that I haven't already emptied out, perhaps multiple times, and repurchased. Everything I'm going to mention has been something that has been repurchased at least once, if not several times over. So this is definitely stuff that I've committed to, and it's things that I see questions for every so often in the comments, and I'm like, oh yeah, I've been meaning to do a morning skincare video. Or, you know, I'll just briefly mention one thing or another here or there, but I know it's helpful to see the whole routine. Now, I am pretty much a normal skin type. I verge a little bit on dry as well, especially this time of year. So as you're going to see with some of the things I put on, especially like my overall face cream, like it's rich. It's very, very hydrating. And that's important for me, but that might not be necessary for everyone else. Definitely not if you are an oily skin type. You're probably looking at things with a different kind of strategy. But my goals with my skincare are definitely hydration, just getting the skin prepped well, hydration that really like lasts on my skin so things don't start to look dry and cakey. I'm thinking about anti-aging and some specific functions with the serums that I use, and obviously sun protection as well. So lots of different goals involved in the morning skincare. And also, I've never had anything like done to my face. I probably should, but I don't take time to go get facials. I've never had Botox, although I would be open to it. I would consider, especially if it could help my migraines. Not that I've had a big migraine issue lately, but you know, I'll take another practical reason. But yeah, my skin is really, I think, the result of taking care of it. And I know I do wear a lot of makeup, but I want my skin itself to be well taken care of morning and night. And yeah, I definitely believe in prepping the skin really well before makeup. There are so many inexpensive makeup products that I love, but I do also believe that part of what can make everything work really well is investing in some pretty good skin prep, skincare products that you're going to use underneath. So here's a little look at what I use. Alrighty friends, the first thing I do after I get my lights on and sit my coffee on its little heating pad, its little coffee warmer thing, I take some of this. This is my IT Cosmetics Miracle Water, and it's called a 3-in-1 tonic. It's a micellar water, but they also say it's skin brightening and anti-aging. And I have gone through multiple bottles of this. As you can see, I'm about ready to go through this one. I've got about, I don't know, 2 inches left down there, and I can see one down in my empties bin. Speaking of that, I should probably do an empties video soon. And it's a lot of this skincare stuff that's in it. But I just get some of this on my cotton pad, and I go all over my skin. This is like technically the face wash step of the morning, okay? I can get it around my eye area. I can go everywhere. It doesn't over dry my skin, but it just gets me nice and fresh and clean for the skincare and the makeup. Next up, I use a trio of serums, and this is my second go round with these. I've already used all of these up. They're in my empties bin, and I decided to repurchase. They're from Glossier, and they have a trio of serums, and I just felt like they worked so well for me my first go round with them. And each one has a little bit different purpose, and you're supposed to put it on, kind of give it a chance to sink in, and then go on with the next one. And you go in order of lightest to heaviest, I guess you'd say. So I have the Glossier Super Pure. This is the niacinamide and zinc. This is kind of your clear skin one. Super Balance with hyaluronic acid and vitamin B5. This is your hydration. And then Super Glow, vitamin C and magnesium, you know, glowing, radiant skin. So this is the first stuff going on after that micellar step. So I just give myself a little drop, get it all blended in. And then as you wait a couple minutes for that to sink in, this is a good time to go ahead and clean up your eyebrow area or your unibrow area. I feel like I have a little tweezing to be done every single day in certain spots, so I just go around and do that in between my serums. We don't waste time up here in the makeup room. Okay, moving on to Super Bounce. This one I feel like I go through it a little bit faster just because it has a slightly thicker consistency. Like I'll just end up picking up more in the dropper. But get this all blended in. And obviously you don't have to like buy these as a trio. If there's one certain concern that you have and you want to focus in on that, you could just get one. Serum 3 of 3, this is the Super Glow. Fun fact, I take a magnesium pill every day. When I was having my trouble with migraines, I had heard that that was a really beneficial thing to take, and there were honestly so many positive changes that I implemented kind of at one time, and then I stopped having them. But daily magnesium, a lot of water drinking, I think those things both benefited me a lot, and now I've got some magnesium in a serum too. So the serums are on, the stray hairs are plucked, and then I go on with my Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. As I look at my skincare area here, I do have some other moisturizers that I'm willing to put on in the morning. Maybe it's the ColourPop 4th Ray, the Daily. I've got e.l.f. Holy Hydration, but this one is my favorite, and we have already kind of hit the bottom here. I've still got quite a bit of product around the edges, but yeah, I'll be repurchasing. I've repurchased this many times because I'm pretty generous with what I slather on too. It's rich and it allows me to do basically anything I want makeup wise, you know. I have kind of a normal to dry skin type right now, and if I feel like doing a matte look, this is sort of like the permission slip for that because it really gets me well hydrated. I already look glowing before anything even starts, and yet it's not too much for my skin. It never makes me like break out or have a problem. Like I've been using this for years and I love it, and I love that it has, and this might be a no-no for skincare, but it does have kind of that fresh, like little bit citrus scent to it that I love. For eye cream, my absolute favorite is my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Eye Rescue. Yes, this may be a brand that I look at very critically makeup wise a lot of the time, and there aren't tons of things that I feel like are worth it, but I love the eye cream. So I have this big old thing of it. I also had experimented with the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base Eye, and I've put a decent dent in this too, but this is just like thinner, lighter. This is more nourishing, and you know, different concealers that you put on, you want to be very well prepped. So get that eye cream all over this area. It just feels so good. It's the absolute best that I've tried. Hydration Central up in here. Next up, this is a good time to do maybe a little bit of a lip exfoliation. I love my e.l.f. lip exfoliator. This is just the mint scented one. Mint Maniac, but all of them are good. Even the new one from the Cookies and Cream collection, they executed well on that also. You just kind of rub it around and it sloughs off the dead skin. There are some days when I'm doing a matte lip and then I'm like, oh, I forgot to do this step. This may be the one step I sometimes forget. Everything else is like super routine. And then I might apply like a little bit of this Too Faced Hangover Pillow Balm. It's a great way to like just start softening up the lips. It's refreshing. It's a little bit cooling. This is the Banana Kiss flavor. And it's like a balm with a doe foot applicator, you know? Not super shiny or colorful or anything like that, but just really hydrating. And then the last thing I put on my face is a sunscreen. And this is where I have bounced around it a little bit. I've nearly used up my Glossier Invisible Shield, which is an SPF 35. And then I also sometimes rotate in the Glow Screen if I'm doing like an extra glowy look, or I just want my skin to be a little more radiant. Maybe I'm gonna go glowy here and then balance it out with a not so glowy foundation, you know, but that's an SPF 40 on the Glow Screen. But the one that I really enjoy probably for any situation is just the Mineral Sheer Screen. This has SPF 30. It's a 100% mineral broad spectrum sunscreen, and it doesn't have any particular look to it. This is just clear, by the way. This is like a gel, but I just like the texture of this one. And I feel like it adds even maybe a little extra moisture, but not too much. It doesn't really throw the whole thing off, you know what I'm saying? But any of those are great sunscreens in my book. And then I just wanted to talk a little bit about favorite primers. I really think I've pinned it down to 3 that I like a lot, 3 totally different types. First one, the Laura Geller Spackle Mattify. This is such an interesting primer because it still feels hydrating on the skin, but it smooths out the pores. It's velvety on the skin. I would love for you to go back and watch the video where I used this, and I used the Laura Geller Double Take Baked Powder Foundation together, and it was just a match made in heaven. But this can work well under, you know, any other look that you want to do. If you're like, I want to look smooth, I want to look poreless, fewer fine lines, not shiny at all, you could still pair this with other foundations that you like of any type of finish, and this will give you some benefits. If you do like a really glowy primer, the Believe Beauty from Dollar General Radiantly Primed, I've talked about this this is a real comparable thing to the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless filter. It's so good, and I like that you can wear it under makeup. You can dab it on as cream highlight over top. It's a really easy texture that doesn't make you too like greasy sticky, but it still gives you a glow. And then the Hard Candy Sheer Envy Hydrating Primer with the 12-hour makeup grip. This one I'm almost out of. This is their take on like the Milk Hydro Grip, and yes, I have tried a couple other gripping primers from other brands, but this is probably my favorite. Definitely gives you yet an additional hydrated layer to the skin. I think I'm gonna wear this one today. It comes out looking like a little bit greenish, but I think it really does help the staying power, as all of these do, especially the Laura Geller and this one. Definitely have an impact on staying power, and it feels a little tacky, but you kind of let it sink in and that won't overwhelm you. But I love, love, love that primer, and it's definitely hydrating. So that is my morning skin prep. That's everything I do before I start putting makeup on, you guys. All the way from the micellar water to the primer. Everything is ready to go. This is the way you see me when I start most of my videos. And ta-da, we're all the way here to the end. Thank you guys so much for watching my morning skincare info. It is a lot. Like, I take a lot more steps than I used to. I remember just putting on like one moisturizer and maybe a little SPF that might have been included in that moisturizer, and that was it. And now I really do take a lot of steps, but you know, I am 38 years old, and I've just learned the value in getting the skin ready, and then you can have your fun and get away with all sorts of different makeup on top. So thank you guys so much for your time today. Thank you for everyone who requests something about skincare. I'm sorry it's taken me so long. The most recent one I think I'd done on morning skincare was years ago, so it definitely has been a long time coming. But thank you so much, friends, and I will see you again soon. I love you. Bye.